here's looking at you. But you can't see me. Yeah, I did that. Anyway, I'm coming at you with the video hat trick of the day with a UFC 87. You know, this is a very good card. I mean, it's like one of those cards where like injuries jacked it up a little bit, but you know, they pulled it out. I think they got a great main event with George St. Pierre versus John Fitch. I'll try to get what I can in here. I'm not going to waste too much time on the fights I don't care about, which are many. But, you know, this should be a good card, though. Very entertaining when it comes out. Oh, we're going to start this off with the main event. George St. Pierre, fresh off his victory in Canada over Matt Serra to, you know, get his title back and become the undisputed, you know, UFC champion. He's going to take on AKA member Johnny Fitch. This is a very interesting fight because one of George Rush's advantages that he's used in so many of his fights has been his size and strength to, you know, really overpower his opponents. He's going up against a guy in Two-Face that's a little bit bigger and, you know, a little bit stronger and very good at the wrestling. You know, it's going to be, you know, a different dynamic than it was against, you know, guys like Matt Hughes, Serra, you know, Penn, and, you know, other guys. You know, he's right there with size, with GSP. He's very tough, and, you know, this could possibly be his, you know, his toughest challenge so far. You know, John Fitch is like 8-0 in the octagon, you know. But I think one part of the game where George St. Pierre is just really where he really stands out against John Fitch has been the stand-up. I've seen a couple of John's fights, and I think especially his last one against, who was it, Chris Wilson? Anyway, in that fight, he was outstruck pretty clearly. He ended up having to lay and pray for the victory. It wasn't a very good fight, but he won, and that's all that matters. And if he can get George St. Pierre down like that, you know, it might be tough for GSP, especially since, you know, John Fitch is no slouch with the jiu-jitsu. And, you know, I think he was just recently awarded a black belt, I believe. But George St. Pierre, I think his strength, I know I'm picking him to win this fight, but I think his strength and the advantage that he has over so many people, he's good on it's not so much that he's good on the feet or good on the ground, and I think he's great in both aspects of the game. He's great in all aspects of the game. But what makes him dangerous is the way he transitions from one form of the game to the next. You don't know if he's going to strike with you. I mean, he gets you comfortable striking, then he goes down. You're comfortable then, back up, or he'll move around. He's just very, very comfortable in this. He's very comfortable in the cage, you know, very comfortable in all aspects of the game, and just is really, you know, just really, when it comes to that mixed martial arts game, George St. Pierre is really on top, and I don't think John Fitch can handle the rhythm, and I think this will probably be I'm not sure if he'll stop John Fitch, but I think it'll definitely be a decision. Unless John catches him early, I think GSP is going to really take this. Oh, moving down the card, we're going to have my boy, the Flow, Kenny Florian, with a male too, Mojo Jojo. Anyway, he's going to be taking on Roger Huerta. This is another exciting bout. Two great lightweights, two guys with a lot of heart and just a lot of fire. Two trains just gonna go into each other. I think Roger Huerta, he's a tough dude, but I think like he's been winning a lot of fights by, you know, grinding it out. You know, just being tougher than a lot of the guys he's fighting, and just he has a lot of heart. He keeps coming. And in his last fight against Clay Guida, I think he was getting outworked a little bit, but, you know, he was able to stay in the fight. He had great cardio, you know, good heart, and he was able to, you know, finish him off in the third round. Kenny Florian, I think he's been in a five-round fight with Sean Shirk. You know, being in a 5-round fight with Sean Shirk is just basically laying on your back. But Kenny Florian has the heart to go as long as possible, and I think he just has a couple more tools than Roger Huerta. Even though Rogers I'm sure he had a great training camp, he has a lot of good physical tools, but Kenny Florian is very good at the jiu-jitsu game, and he's good at Muay Thai, and I think he's just a little more dangerous than Roger Huerta. I think he'll be able to, you know, I think Roger might be able to control him for like the whole fight, but I think that Kenny Florian, he's always, you know, he's always dangerous. I mean, I don't have to tell you how dangerous Ken Flo is, because I think in his 9 fights, None of those went to decision. And you know why they don't go to decision? I'll tell you why they don't go to decision. Because Kenny Floyd finishes fights. That's all there is to it. That's all you got to know. And I'm going to go with my boy here. He's going to finish this fight. He's going to finish where it does. And all you girls, you can just cry. Whatever. It's going down. Flow, baby. And moving right along, we're going to have Brock Lesnar versus Heath Herring. Texas Crazy Horse. The Texas Gatekeeper. I'm sorry. I'm running out of time here, so we're just going to relate this. Brock Lesnar, has had a disappointing first outing. I mean, he was very impressive. I think, he lasted like a minute and a half against Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu man, Frank Mir, but he dominated like a minute 25 of that. I mean, he was really tough. He put the stamp on him. And if he, with a little more seasoning and a little, more, submission defense and striking, he's definitely in that fight. But Heath Herring, tough guy. He's been in a lot of wars. His UFC career has been kind of spotty as of late, but he's a big threat to anybody in the heavyweight division. And he's a very good test for Brock Lesnar. To Brock's credit, he hasn't been eased into this pool. He's been thrown into the deep end. And I think he's going to be able to finish off Heath Herring. I think he'll be able to keep him down for a decision. Maybe even able to pound him out. But he's a tough dude. And Brock Lesnar better be on his P's and Q's. He better be much sharper than he was in the last fight. But I think he will, and I think he can beat Heath Herring. We'll move on. Manny Gambarian versus Rob Emerson. Manny's going to kill him. First round. Next. Damian Maia versus Jason McDonald. I think they're both good at jiu-jitsu, even though Damian Maia, he's an ace. I mean, the dude is very impressive. I mean, when it comes to getting a hold of you, staying on you like a snake, and just passing your guard and getting into a position where he could take you out. And I think Jason McDonald right there, he's also in the Heath Herring area with as he is a gatekeeper. Yeah, just keep that gate open, man. I mean, unless he's fighting like an Ultimate Fighter contestant, he hasn't been that impressive so far against the top competition every time he's had the chance to step up. I mean, Damian Maia has been undefeated, only one fight go the distance, and I think this might go to distance too, because Jason McDonald, to his credit, he is a huge middleweight. He's very savvy, very tough. I'm not sure Damian, I mean, he might have the tools to do it. I think, he might be able to submit him because he knows his game as far as the jiu-jitsu. I said jiu-jitsu. But in any case, this UFC 87 fight card is brought to you by Sunkist. They didn't pay me, but I drank it anyway. That's probably why I'm still up. As I drink this, y'all have a good night. Y'all enjoy yourselves, and I'll see y'all later.